When selling your house, first impressions can make or break that sale. Here with tips on adding curb appeal to help your home get noticed, we welcome back real estate agent Lily Wyss. It's so great to see you.
Hi, good to see you as well.
Curb appeal really is so important.
It's
especially
huge.
if you're on the market, right?
Right, completely. It's one of those things where I have pulled up to a home with people and right away they're like, oh, this just isn't the house for me.
Oof.
And in general, it is going to be your first impression people get of your home. Everybody's shopping for homes online as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be the first photo we show. It's actually legally the first photo we show is the exterior of your home. So it's important that we give that great first impression.
You've got great ideas for us if you are getting ready to list or just some spring refreshers that we could all do too.
Completely.
So let's talk about just keeping things clean on the outside.
Yeah. So I always say, anything you're going to do doesn't matter if you're not starting with that nice blank canvas. So making sure that your gutters are cleaned, not only inside, but the outside. I was just talking to someone about that the other day.
Yes.
And then your roof is cleaned, but make sure you professionally get it cleaned. You can really damage your roof doing that yourself.
Okay.
Make sure to clean off the concrete, things like that. We just live in a very mossy area.
That's true.
So starting with that blank canvas can really help out.
Yeah, certain things maybe you can do with your own power washer, certain things to get some professional help with for safety reasons too. Okay.
I have to say that. Yeah.
What about landscaping and things to think about?
Yeah, for sure. So for landscaping, sounds like you're going to get some more tips on that today here soon. But really just creating that lush environment. There's a difference. Not every home buyer or home seller wants to deal, or homeowner wants to deal with a lot of maintenance.
Right.
But, people are really loving native plants. If you can add some color in, especially if you're selling your home here in the spring, or you're someone who's just enjoying your home this time of year, it can be really nice to have that color involved with flowers, things like that. And we were just joking too, if you're planning to sell your home, you're not a huge green thumb, you can put that stuff in right before you sell your house.
There you go. You only have to keep it alive for a week or two, and then you can move on to the next thing. Okay, what about thinking about the mailbox? I wouldn't put that on the top of my list.
For sure. So these are just those smaller items, your mailbox. Sometimes you see houses with like the fancier address numbers. Just those little items that can give your home more personality, a nicer touch, and show that you really care. So if you do have that external mailbox, it can look nice. Now, we're not talking anything with a wild design on it.
Sure.
But just something newer and nicer, especially if you do have wear and tear on that.
Well, and what about the front door? That's a great thing to refresh if you can as well.
Super nice, easy to do, and there's different tactics there. You can do a nice neutral color, but I know, especially here in Portland, people love their fun front door colors.
It's true. This photo is so adorable.
Right,
I love that.
Exactly. Yellow seems to be a very popular color. It can be really fun. It just, again, adds that element of excitement. And if someone else wants a different color on their door too, it's easy to change.
That's true. You can see the vision of a colorful front door and then take it where you will. What about lighting, like along walkways and things like that?
Yeah, that's a really good one. So one reason I like this is solar lighting, things of that nature. It can add it's really good for safety.
Yeah.
It's anything anybody could have in their home. So if you are just looking to do some upgrades, really nice to have for safety and security. But I also love twilight photos of listings.
Oh, yeah.
And so it can look really cool if you have that lining your pathway and then you have this beautiful view of a later in the day
What
photo.
a great idea where the potential buyer could see that vision of how they'll see the space in the evening. Okay, I love that. We mentioned gutters earlier, but we're talking clean them inside and out.
And then change them out as well. So same with windows, if they're in rougher shape, a lot of older homes here in Portland might have their original windows. If they're in good shape, that's great. But it can be helpful to change that along with the gutters as well.
What about the garage doors? There's so much to think about.
For sure. And not everybody needs to do all these items. And, I talk with people about this all the time, but these are just suggestions. It depends on what your goals are, what's necessary. But one of your biggest, I believe actually the largest ROI you can have on your home equity when it comes to the exterior is changing out your garage door.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so doing something a little fancier with it, upgrading, can do a lot for your home.
And you can do an easy one pretty inexpensively, I think, too. That's a really good investment.
Yeah, there's a range in what you can do there.
What about a covered outdoor area? What are some things to think about there?
So we're talking about, your front of your home, but, I think it's a really good general one of either having that covered front porch. So if your home doesn't have a front porch, you can actually add that in. In general, also, I will say in the backyard, having that covered area. We just obviously live somewhere with a lot of rain.
Yeah.
So we've found one of the largest value ads and something we hear from people on the home buying side is, oh wow, in the positive, wow, this home has this covered outdoor area. Just had someone say that the other day. I can put a heater out here and actually enjoy that exterior, enjoy the outdoors. It really helps.
It doesn't have to be a massive space either.
Exactly.
Okay.
Completely.
I love that. All great stuff. Thank you so much.
So welcome.
Great to chat with you. Okay, we will have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.